Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yang Song. I'm a professor teaching at the Department of Agricultural Economics, Chungbuk National University in Korea. I am also a board member of KOICA, Korea International Cooperation Agency. Let me briefly introduce myself. I have four academic fields of interest. Agricultural economics is my academic background, and Dr. Zhang, the moderator, and I went to school together at University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. I wrote my PhD thesis on Korean rice market using game theory. So game theory is my, one of my expertise. In 2010, I started to participate in international development cooperation projects in the Philippines and become a board member of KOICA in 2022. Since 2017, I also have been studying and teaching behavioral economics, which is very interesting field, and which is also an intersection of economics and psychology. I have 2 points to make today. First point is that international development cooperation or aid projects can help developing countries to secure staple food in the short and in the long run. I will talk about what Korea and KOICA are doing in this matter. Second point is that even when revolutionary seeds are developed and available to farmers, farmers may not adopt the new technology from the viewpoint of behavioral economics. I propose several strategies for better adoption by the farmers. I will not talk about the details of this slide, but basically Korea is an emerging donor and it is becoming a major donor and kept increasing its ODA budget. In 2023, Korea ranked 14th on the size and expects to rank 12th in 2024, right behind the Switzerland. This is the architecture of Korean ODA. The CIDC is called Committee for International Development Cooperation in Korea, and the CIDC is the final decision-making body chaired by the Prime Minister of Korean government. Ministry of Economy and Finance and Korean Exim Export-Import Bank are responsible for the loans, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs and KOICA are responsible for the grants project. Other ministries are coordinating with these two ministries. As you can see, agriculture is more important to Korea than to the world. And KOICA cares more about agriculture than Korea as a whole, keeping its ratio around 12% since 2019. KOICA also has the biggest budget for agriculture and rural development than any other ministries and institutions, excluding MAFRA, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fishery and Rural Affairs. Food aid, is rather humanitarian program than agricultural program. So basically, KOICA has the largest budget for agriculture and rural development. KOICA was established in 1991 and has more than 800 projects in 2024 with a budget of 1.5 billion US dollars, which is about 1/3 of total ODA budget of Korean government. KOICA also has a presence in Geneva, Switzerland, a liaison officer as a part of Korean mission. KOICA's agricultural and rural development strategy is to support developing countries for sustainable agriculture, including seed development and R&D activities in general. KOICA also supports the whole value chain of agricultural and food industries from input to final market. Seed development is a starting block of this value chain. We also need to support other two essential factors of irrigation and fertilizer to have a real impact, and we need to provide additional assistance for these two. Currently in 2024, KOICA has 125 agricultural and rural development projects in operation. Of them, we have 16 rice and seed related projects in operation. Also, there are 15 R&D support projects in operation, possibly including rice seed development, education, and researches. KOICA supports R&D in developing countries because, first, the share of R&D in GDP is much lower in developing countries. Second, the share is increasing in developed and upper middle income countries, UMICs, but it is not improving in lower middle income countries and low income countries. These two observations imply that R&D is a key investment for development, but LMIC and LIC need assistance in R&D investment. These are the locations of the mentioned projects. KOICA has projects all over the world, and most of them have very low R&D per GDP ratio. These are the two rice projects in Senegal and Ghana. As you can see, our partner farmers are paying attention to Korean experts, in seeing how to grow rice more productively. And summing up, KOICA has been contributing to revitalization of green revolution and agricultural rural research and development in general. Now let me talk about the second point I like to make. Let's take a view of behavioral economics to understand why farmers would hesitate to adopt new technology, meaning new seed. Looking at the same glasses, one may say it's half empty, and the other one may say it's half full, depending on the anchors or frames. Half full is called the gain frame. Half empty is called the loss frame. What happens when people have different frames? Let's take a look. To understand what happens when people have different frames, we need to understand the prospect theory. Okay? On the right, the prospect theory is sketched. The table on the left is a practical summary of the theory. According to the prospect theory and associated experiments, people might not act rationally. Actually, people would make irrational or biased decisions, especially under risks. For example, buying lottery doesn't make any economic sense, but people do buy lottery tickets, which is not, rational. When we apply the prospect theory in the context of today's discussion, poor farmers have the loss frame and would not adopt new technology, even though the chance of losing is very low. According to the theory, rich farmers with gain frame would not adopt new technology as well. Why does this happen? This is because our perception and cognition are biased. Let's take some examples next. People don't perceive things objectively due to our subjective system 1. Let's take some example. On the far left, do you see the slanted lines? Actually, they are perfectly parallel. In the middle panel, the line on the right looks longer, right? However, the lengths of the two are exactly the same. Last on the far right, do you see the blobs? Actually, there is none. Try to look into the red box to see there is any blob now. Our perceptions are not that reliable as we experienced. We just saw our perceptions can be very misleading. How about our cognitive abilities? As you can see, there are two chickens, one with 3 legs and one with 4 legs. Which chicken looks more real? Okay, think about it. Most people feel the chicken with 4 legs on the right looks more real. Why? Because we are familiar with animals with 4 legs, and chicken legs are sold in a package of 4. That makes 4 legs are more familiar to us. As we saw, our perceptions and cognitions can be biased or not perfect. And because of this, we make biased decisions. Okay. So now we understand farmers may not adopt new varieties due to our limited rationality and associated biases. There are many ways, and here are some examples. First is about the framing effect. We need to change the anchor, persuading the farmers that it is a gain. When people feel the riskier, they tend to feel the worse, which means less profitable. It is called the ambiguity aversion. But the fact is, the riskier, the more profitable. Okay. So we need to tell them it is a gain, not a loss. But people would not believe what we are saying. So we need to let poor farmers' friends tell this to them. Tell them it's a gain. Okay? It is called the source credibility or messenger effect. Okay? Second is about repetition, called the illusory truth effect. Repetition works for brainwash always. To make new technology or new seed familiar, we need to tell them repeatedly, because familiarity is confused with truth. Third is about temporal construal theory. People care more about the purpose or essentials when decision is far in distant future. For decisions for imminent future, people care more about methods and non-essentials. It is like seeing a forest from far away versus seeing trees more when approaching the forest. Okay, so we need to tell the farmers in the beginning, tell them it is more profitable, which is the purpose, and toward the end, tell them it is more productive, which is the method. And the last one is called the IKEA effect. Okay, people care more about the things they make themselves. Okay, so we need to build ownership for sustainability. How do we do that? We make them, the farmers, participate in developing new seed in one way or another. Then people care about the new varieties more, and they will sustain, to participate in this, not just developing new varieties, but distributing and actually planting these varieties to make more productive production, and make more money. Thank you for your attention. This is all I have prepared today, and I hope to see you in Geneva again. Thank you very much.